Welcome to another live day three this week. As you might know, we are building the entire go to market strategy from scratch. This is day three. On previous days, we covered how to identify your total addressable market audience. So, essentially, how big is the list of clients, potential clients that you would like to reach out to, and building also a Dream 100, those best clients, most profitable clients, highest retention clients that you can do. Day two, we were speaking about actually building an outbound infrastructure, allowing you to reach decision makers and turn it into pipeline. Today, we're going to talk about content. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Matt Wiss. I'm the co-founder at Email Ties. And we help companies that are heavily relying on word of mouth, been growing for many years, maybe even multiple decades, and they would like to build a demand generating system into their company so they don't have to rely on only on referrals or mainly on referrals, whether it's through outbound, email, LinkedIn outreach, or building demand generating content that allows you to really build trust and become an authority in your industry. That's what we do. That's what I am passionate about. And again, today we're going to talk about content, my favorite topic. And I'm going to share with you a few examples. But before that, if you would like to get access to the entire document, we'll scroll through it here until day three and whatever you're going to talk on day four and day five. You can do that by clicking the link below around this, actually, at the bottom of the post associated with this live, and I will send it to you as well. On top of that, I will send you 5 prompts that I believe are crucial in your go-to-market strategy. And the prompt number 3 is really relevant today. It's about turning your objections from past sales calls into content that your prospects will find as soon as you start doing outreach. So this might be very, very useful. And I cover it here. So let's start by briefly explaining what usually happens when you send any form of outbound. First thing that naturally happens when someone receives this email, unless the offer is absolutely perfect timing, sent at perfect time, and your prospects is actively looking for that solution, which can happen. It happened many times to us in the past as well. It was just the right time at the right moment. Most of the times, however, they look up your company, they look up you personally on Google, maybe now ChatGPT, not maybe, ChatGPT you, look you up on LinkedIn. They try to find as much information as possible. And the problem arises when they find no information whatsoever or not relevant information, maybe outdated information. That will be the worst case scenario when you're still part of a different company, for example. But we want to make sure that we simplify that journey. So that's why optimizing your LinkedIn profile is a good idea. Keeping it simple, your bios, first thing they read, the banner. They want to make sure that you have a appropriate LinkedIn picture that I have yet come across an inappropriate LinkedIn picture, not Twitter, it's not Instagram, where it's very common practice. So all of that really helps them to make a decision whether or not they should respond to your email. And that literally happens within sometimes a minute. Search nowadays is extremely fast. I remember times when Google was telling you how fast the search was conducted. I don't know if they still do this practice, but it was usually something like 0.000 seconds and 500,000 results came up, right? So ChatGPT eliminates all those 500,000 results and gives you that one result and really good bullet points that they want to check out. So actually, instead of giving an example of a large HVAC company, I thought about something different today because I had a call previously with a company from in the aviation business, right? So aviation, we're talking about high net worth individuals that you're trying to approach, perhaps managers from artists, perhaps executives that need to get from point A to point B quickly and safely. So we can use this as an example as well. So obviously, there's different type of clientele, and you have to match your content to whoever you're trying to reach. And ideally, you want to join the conversations they're having in their head. Before they even speak to you. So imagine a scenario where you're talking about their main concerns, for example, is safety, or what happens when there is a problem that showed up out of nowhere, right? You have to provide a backup, 24/7 backup. You obviously have to mention all the safety certifications that you have and safety measures that you go above and beyond to make sure that that executive, that artist will arrive on time, because for them, not arriving on time means losing a lot of money, sometimes millions, sometimes the deal that they're working on. So time is of an essence here. So in that in that space, pretty much gave you already so much ideas for content for this. Here are some more ideas. Obviously, industry point of view, trends is one of the challenges I just mentioned. Opportunities are perhaps saving money and still flying private. In that case, you don't have to own your private jet. You don't have to find. I think the biggest struggle from in my circle that I've spoken with owners of private jet or people that own private jet in the past, the memberships now became so good that they don't have to deal with finding the right pilot or multiple pilots, finding the right crew, managing it, and obviously figuring out what to do when they're not flying, how to manage that their plane or multiple planes if they have. So a lot of them switched over after years of using their own jet. They switched over to a membership platform where it allows them to, or essentially gives them 2 hour window whenever they need it. They need a client, they get it, right? So this could be an opportunity for them to have this experience without owning a jet, right? So, and you can be creative here. Objection busters, that's what I meant. That's what I meant with the prompt as well. They have, and here the biggest thing with this is the fact that you want to make sure everyone has everyone, most of your prospects will have similar objections, but they express it in a different ways. So you want to make sure that you match their tonality, their tone of voice. And I'll tell you a good way to go around that in just a second. Moreover, case stories or case study stories, specific problems. We love storytelling. There's this gentleman on TikTok who's selling private jets to wealthy individuals, and I'm sure you've seen it. He tells the story. So one story that I will forever remember, I believe this was his first private jet that he needed to deliver before he actually went on into business himself. He was a broker, and he got on a plane. They were flying from point A to point B to deliver the plane, and they had actually a layover in Miami. And there was this situation where the representative of his clients took out the gun, and I believe they actually wanted to take the catch that they wanted to pay with, and they shown, and they might even take, or the intention was to take the plane as well and fly overseas from Miami. So you can imagine their line of business, and he figured out somehow to tell them something that needs to get done. So he would essentially talk to the immigration department or representative at the private airport, whatever. And long story short, he survived. They didn't shot him. They didn't take the plane. Police arrived in a timely manner and they figure out the situation. But stories like this, obviously, hopefully it doesn't happen to you if you're in the space, but stories like this are always memorable. And that's obviously great content behind the scenes. This is fantastic. I mean, we all would love to see content behind the scenes of in that particular case. And if you had any other business, even if it's something that might sound boring to you, just eliminate this thoughts. There's always someone that will not find it boring, that will actually find it very entertaining and exciting, and that always that always happens. So whatever business and line of business you are in, there's always something that you can talk about that you maybe thinking out of the box you never thought might be relevant, but hey, your potential clients might tune in and they might like that story or will resonate with them. And all that content, the more content you have, the higher chances for you to rank within the search engines. And the biggest search engine now is AI. So you want to make sure that you give them enough ammunition to feature you whenever someone is looking for that particular service. And also with your best videos, and by best I mean something that maybe an objection that shows up the most, or maybe a multiple objections video, maybe YouTube video that you have, maybe an interview you've done with your client. You want to make sure that it's on your featured section on your LinkedIn profile, and it's on the featured section in your trailer we call on YouTube. Because why wouldn't you upload the same video to a long form video to YouTube and turn into short form videos and post it all over LinkedIn? It just, YouTube is owned by Google, gives you more chances to rank. So obviously, and appear in searches. So make sure you include proper keywords in your headline. If you're working within a specific area, make sure you name the state, the city, the location, maybe even the neighborhood, if that's a wealthy neighborhood that you're trying to sell, for example, real estate to, or whatever that is that you're selling. So that helps you. Now, how can you turn? Obviously, we have we have an example of HVAC company here, but I give you some more examples. How can you actually turn this into content? So there's this platform called Riverside, and I'm trying to find out if you can see that I'm recording on Riverside, but if not, I will Google it for you. Make sure you can see it. There we go. You can see it. So Riverside, great platform. It allows you, which is what I'm using right now, it allows you to host meetings even. You can record those meetings. And if you have, map out the objections that you have, or the stories you'd like to share. You can set up your iPhone. If you have a camera, use a camera. iPhones, Samsungs are pretty good cameras nowadays. So you can literally shoot videos in 4K with your iPhone. You can invite maybe a team member or me if you want to on the call and have a conversation. Have a conversation about the safety. For example, if we're talking about the aviation business, safety, what are the safety measures that you go above and beyond at your company that your clients care about, or your clients should care about if they need to build trust with you for the first time, if they're flying with you for the first time and you're providing that service for them. So what are the safety measures? Now you have 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute to really openly talk about that. If there's a common objections, maybe, hey, last time I looked your services, use your services, someone called me and they gave me a direct quote or 20% cheaper. Why should I stick with you? And now you can explain why they shouldn't look at the price tag, merely at the price tag, but also the value that you provide, whatever that is, your way to overcoming that objection. So that is going to obviously be a nice conversation, simple conversation in a safe environment that you can essentially address common misconception about myths, misconception, problems, challenges, opportunities, all of that we just cover in a video. And then Riverside will actually do most of the work for you. It will help you clip it into short-form videos, and you can do your editing right on the platform. So you don't have to be an editor. You obviously have to understand the basics of editing, but it's very simple. If not, you can always find someone who can do it for you and help you edit the videos if you need help. So that's the platform. And also, lastly, I wanted to mention that that's outbound mainly through email, for example, right? But the same thing happens, or LinkedIn. But the same thing happens when you start running your ads. Your ads, usually you target people for the first time or retarget people that have entered your ecosystem. So what does it mean? So first, if the first group of people is someone who will discover you, the first impression that you're going to make, that means usually Facebook, Instagram, maybe YouTube, right? They're scrolling through their feed, they're looking up private jets, or looking up whatever they're looking on their feed. Algorithm feeds that content, and you target them. They show up and they see your ad for the first time. That means they're pretty much cold traffic, we like to call in the marketing space. So they have never heard about you. They know about the solution that you provide, but not about your company, your particular solution. So they discover you for the first time. So at this point, they will most likely, if they're interested, if that speaks to them, they will most likely somewhat look you up, Google you, the same thing as we discussed. So when they, for example, Google you, you want to make sure that you show up on the top of Google. And that's through search engine optimization, videos, and also running Google ads. So that when someone searches for a company, maybe misspells your company, maybe just types in the first part of your company, you want to make sure that you show up on the top of their Google search. So that's someone who discovers you for the first time, the first impression you've made in that ad on Facebook, on Facebook or Instagram, and you want to make sure that you address that person correctly. There's not much as it used to be for those paid media platforms like Facebook. There used to be a lot of technical background that you had to have in order to figure it out, the targeting and how to set up all the audiences. Now it's pretty much your copy, your video, the creative that dictates who's going to see it and how to reach your target audience. The other group, on the other hand, were people that you're trying to retarget. Facebook, Instagram, you can also set up your retargeting ads there. So that obviously is different language that you want to implement here. And the same as Google. So if someone visits your website, for example, if someone visits your landing pages, you can reach out to them and try to get them on a call with retargeting. So that means you want to show up multiple times on their feed or whatever they are in their inbox and have an offer that will be enticing enough for them to book a call with you directly as fast as possible, or watch a video that you want them to watch. And that all together builds into a 7-12-3 rule, which means 7 hours of engagement with you and your content. That means being on a call with you for 30 minutes, watching a 30-minute video, reading your emails, your content, overall around 7 hours added up. 12 touch points. So one message, one call, one video that they're going to watch, one post that they're going to read, maybe a carousel post that explains all myths, busts all the myths in your industry. It's a beautiful way to do it with carousel posts, and you can upload it to Instagram, you can upload it to LinkedIn. And then the three, it's usually on 3 different platforms. So might be Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, might be a Zoom call, and LinkedIn and YouTube. So that is how you can create a fantastic ecosystem for and demand generating ecosystem for your potential clients to discover you, to learn about you, what do you do, how you do it, and why they should go with you. And tomorrow we're going to talk about messaging, how to optimize your outreach, how to execute it, and what to do and what not to do. So I look forward to that, and I hopefully will see you there. Take care.